Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Blackshirt Breakdown. That is Jay Foreman, our NFL veteran and former Nebraska Blackshirt. I am Steve Marik, inside Nebraska staff writer. And Jay, we have a class of 2023 to break down. But today we will be breaking down three specific Nebraska recruits in their 2023 class. One of them, Eric Fields from Ardmore, Oklahoma. Jayden Doss will be the second player that we'll be breaking down, a wide receiver from Missouri. And then the third recruit that we'll be breaking down is a very interesting offensive line commit, Jason MacKay from Pierre, South Dakota. So, Jay, what are your initial, kind of thoughts about these three recruits that we'll be breaking down today?
Well, I think it's a variety of recruits where you think Jayden Doss was one of the bell cows that, the previous staff had honed in on. And then this staff knew that knew about him before they got here. And then obviously it was one of their big targets. I think when they tweeted out the picture of the head coach, offensive coordinator, and I think one of the recruiting coordinators there at a school, he was a big time recruit. And then you got Fields, who kind of under the radar. I think he was a little bit dinged up his junior year, but when you watch his tape, he's a 3 or 4 star guy, very competitive kid with a little bit of position flexibility. And Jason, from Pierce, South Dakota, is a guy that's you have a guy that's been there long in recruiting as far as Doss, a little bit of middle with Fields. I think they targeted him right away. Mm-hmm. And then you have Jason from Pierce, South Dakota, that came in late. But when you watch his tape, he fits everything Matt Rule says he wants to do in the trenches. And so when you're thinking about this, you have a variety of that, as far as their longevity in the recruiting process with Nebraska. But then also you see the type of players that, Coach Rule and company really like both here in the near future and the long future.
So let's start with Eric Fields right away. I think a lot of people are really interested in this kid, 3-star athlete. He was basically a 0-star before Nebraska got involved. A linebacker at Ardmore, Oklahoma. Look, first time I watched this kid's tape, the thing that I thought was football seeking missile. Not a heat-seeking missile, football-seeking missile. This guy makes up his mind and just goes. It doesn't seem like he's thinking much. He's just playing, and he's aggressive, and he is violent when he's meeting ball carriers. So, Jay, we have a few plays here.
Yeah, you don't ever question whether he loves the hit or he loves the game of football. But, is one thing when he makes his minds up, he's going, whether it's a called blitz or a play recognition by him. But his closing speed is which is really, appealing to me. And he has pretty good play recognition, so it's not just running in there unblocked and just – feasting on a bunch of guys that don't know how to play football. So when you look at him, you see, his footwork is really, really good, right? You see a little bit of a false step there, but the ability to gain ground and then to make the play, not only sack the quarterback, cause a fumble, he's a playmaker. And, he played when he jumps off tape, right? When you're thinking about a guy that's going to a Power 5 conference or a Power 5 school like Nebraska, when he's getting recruited, you want to know exactly who he is when you turn on his tape. And this is a guy when you turn on the tape, you know exactly who he is. He's big enough, he's fast enough, and he's physical. And you see it game after game, play after play, quarter after quarter. So he's not just a splash guy and just only makes a couple plays. You see when he hit the quarterback there, when he arrives at the party, he's making his presence known. And he's right, it's a clean hit, but he's explosive, right? He's not just a hitter. He's a striker, and there's a big difference. Hitting people is what generally you see day in and day out. When you strike somebody, that means you're coming with that extra pop, that extra little bit of violence, and that recklessness that's controlled and unleashed time to time. And you see right there, he's a tempo setter as well. See him right here, a little bit of an outside play recognition. Number one, made a business decision already, probably from previous interactions with him, turned down the block. He makes a tackle for loss. And look at the closing speed, the angle to the ball. I like it. I like his size, his ability to gain weight, but I like his play recognition. I like his speed and explosiveness. And plus, his love for football jumps off the screen. And then you see him here on a wide outside zone play, right? Defeats a block still. Look at this angle to the ball, right? You talk about closing to the inside hip with a pretty good or pretty fast running quarterback right there. Number one can pick him up and put him down. So he's not played against some chumps here where he is coming in, defeating the block, still keeping his angle. And then when he gets there, he's driving you through the ground. He's not just there to tackle you. He's there to hit you, and he's going to make his physical presence known. So I think he's a guy that fits great into this 3-3-5, a 4-3, where he has position flexibility. He can play a rover, maybe eat himself and lift himself into a weak side linebacker. But he can help you in the short area passing game. But then obviously there on any type of quick passing game, outside plays, inside run plays, he's really, really good. You see him right here against a little bit of a broken play, but he's not even in the screen. But then by the time he gets in the screen, that makeup speed, and look at him going right there. And when
it almost looks like a video game.
It does. It looks like somebody's playing with a little bit of fast forward. Look, he gets off the block. You don't see him right there. There he goes. Now you see me. Now you don't. Now you see him, or now you didn't see him. Now you do. And when he arrives there, when he arrives to the party, some people are getting hit, and there's no yards after contact, and he's making his presence known, and you see it again, play after play after play.
Yeah, so Eric Fields, they list him at rivals.com as 6'3", 200 pounds, but it's going to be interesting to see how Corey Campbell, the new strength and conditioning coach, once Eric gets in that program, to see what his body kind of transforms into. 220, 230 pounds, whatever it's going to be. It's going to be fun to watch him develop as a football player. Let's go to Jayden Doss now from Peculiar, Missouri. He's a Nebraska kick commit for a while now, since June, I believe. I feel like sometimes people maybe forgot about Jayden Doss, but I think Jayden Doss is really, really good.
Yeah, he's the most. First of all, the first thing that I think of when I look at him, very, very smooth and polished, right? Makes flashy plays, he makes him look easy. When you see him run, there's no wasted steps. He hits the hole, and this is going to be a pretty big return and house call, where then he runs with some power there, hits the sideline, and he already knows, everybody else knows he's going to the house right here. And he's a big-time player, makes big-time plays and big-time games. He's extremely smooth in his route running, return ability. I like it that he's also, he's a receiver, and he can help you in kickoff returns, which obviously we need help in special teams as far as, being explosive there. So anytime that you can get the ball in a player of his caliber's hands, it pays dividends. And you see this right here over and over and over throughout his whole career, making big plays. You see him here in the slot. So now you have flexibility position-wise. He's big enough to play on the outside. He's there to play in the slot. He makes contested catches. That's a hard catch to make right there. Then he has the speed explosiveness to take that little 10-yard, quick little, slant to the house call. He caught it in between two defenders. He made three other guys miss. And you look at this, I like the ball contact, or the ball concentration. I like the hand-eye coordination. He's a hand catcher. I like it that he's able to take a play like that, a simple mistake by the defense right there, and take it to the house. And so you see the separation there. Again, you see him here in a different position. Give credit to their coach running a variety of plays with him here on a little bit of a jet sweep. Yeah. See him run with some power, some elusiveness. Again, when he hits the sideline there, he has the speed to outrun angles. And so he's playing in a pretty good conference there in Missouri. And you see him being able to have his way at times with these big-time teams. And I like to see a guy that can outrun angles. I like to see a guy do a variety of things. Now, right here, you see him on the outside receiver. So you see him in the slot. You see him in there in the wing. Now you see him in the outside receiver. Pretty good route runner. Not a pretty good runner. That's an excellent route right there for a high school kid. Where you see if you look at this right here, eats up the coverage by this corner, stems the route. So stems, he's getting there. The corner thinks he's bailing out of there, right? Sells the post, settles down, right? Head snaps around, ball's on time, so give it to the quarterback. Good catch, catches it there, right there with his hands, right? A difficult catch right there. So you're seeing the flexibility in the knees and ankles, makes him miss. Now he's starting to be the running back or to run after the catch, and that's where you become a big-time receiver. 2 steps inside, hits the sideline, gets 10 more yards. I like everything about him. I like his size. I like his speed. I like his savvy. I like his position flexibility. I like his ability to be explosive in the return game. He's a guy that had been committed really since the first time Nebraska talked to him. People seem to forget about him, but he's going to make some noise as soon as he gets on campus.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the size factor, 6'1", 200 pounds.
All right.
He reminds me a little bit of Jamar Chase. I'm not trying to make a comparison about he's going to be Jamar Chase, but Jamar Chase, 6 foot, 200 pounds, very strong build. to him. And once maybe Jayden Doss isn't the most fast receiver out there, but when he gets the ball, he turns into a running back in space. That's kind of what I see. And I think you mentioned, Jay, but boy, Jayden Doss, loads of talent. I'm really excited to see him get to work, especially kind of in a Marcus Satterfield offense, whatever that's going to look like. But I'm really excited for that one. Now let's head over to Jason Machachok from Pierre, South Dakota. He spent the first 3 years of his high school career at Douglas High School in South Dakota. He wanted a little bit more, exposure. He wanted to play against a higher level of competition. So his family moved to Pierre and did that whole thing and played at Riggins High School. Look, he's going to start his career at Nebraska as an offensive guard. There's potential that he could play on the defensive line, but he's going to start at guard. And I think Donovan Raiola has to be happy with this. 6'4", 320 pounds. Just got off the phone with him today, and his dad, Dan. He's a legit 6'4", 320 pounds, but he is not slow. This kid's feet is fun to watch.
Listen here, man. He has a great Polish last name. And I'm going to tell you like this. Whenever I used to play against guys with Polish last names, I knew in the NFL, I'm in for a head knocker. And if you watch his tape, he is not playing any games. And he fits the bill. And he's 6'4", 320. That's going to get, they're going to, trim him down or get him leaned up. But when you see him move right here, there's no wasted step. I'm talking about the footwork, though. The footwork to get out of a two-point stance, and you kind of kick step to get going. Look at his leverage right there. Pads low. Good night, Irene. He plays the game with the nasty mindset that you need from an offensive line. And I like that he played defensive line as well, so that he knows a little bit of the tricks of the trade on the other side of the ball. And he gives you, again, a position flexibility because he's a pretty good defensive lineman. But I think he's going to be a really, really good guard. Look, he can move for a big guy right like that. He's a waist bender. He's explosive. He's kind of like Fields. He's a striker. When he hits you, people move and they go down to the ground. I like this right here, right? Ability to pass off a pass rush or inside game from the offensive line, which Nebraska struggled at times. Now, granted, it is high school, but this isn't foreign to him. Look at here. He has right here. He takes him on down. This is a TT stunt by the two tackles right here. That's his guy. He washes him down to the center. It lets you know he knows how to communicate. And then look, his leverage is still good. Comes right off him. Boom. Leverage is still good right there. He's not a bobber. He's not going up and down. And then he's able to, just finish this block off and give the quarterback time to, a little bit of a, quarterback designed run there. But what you see out of him playing guard is what you want. And there's plenty to develop there. The footwork you see right here, a double team slip up to the second level. Here's also what I like. His ability to play guard the right way at a high school level is really good. The timing of coming off that double team was really, really good. And that helped out for that explosive run. So what he's bringing right there, if you see this right here, look, double team, then look how he just uses that big body and seals off 32 right there. And now the pressure's on the quarterback to hit that. And now he's going to hit his head on the goalpost. So that's a game-changing block right there from the big fella. And it's all set up by his football knowledge, football acumen, and his ability to communicate and execute. You see him right here, just coming up there, getting up to the second level. Nasty pancake, giving you syrup and a half a stick of butter. He's finishing blocks, right? Playing to the echo of the whistle. You like that. You see this, the quickness right here on this next play is really, really good. You see him out here getting out there, pulling, right? Again, look at the leverage. Get down, get somebody on the ground, and make a hole. This guy right here is playing this game with a passion that Nebraska needs. You see this right here? He wanted to play against better competition. He's stepping up to the competition, the highest level that he could face up there in South Dakota. And I think he handled himself well. Yeah, Nebraska got in on him late because the previous staff didn't really recruit him hard. But I think the new staff saw what we just saw on tape. And it's like, there's a lot to work with. I'm talking about a big man that can move, that can pull, has quickness, and has the nasty mindset that you want from an offensive lineman. He's going to come in here, and I guarantee he's going to make some noise. He's going to attack the weight room. He's not going to back down from anybody. This is the chance that he wanted. He already was going to North Dakota, and it's the same mindset that he had when he had to move to Pierre. Mm-hmm. Bigger and better competition, and he didn't think twice about coming in Nebraska. I think he's going to be a guy, once he gets in, and the more you see him, the more you get used to him. He loves football, and when you look at the three guys that we highlighted tonight, everything that they've done jumped out on tape, right? And that's what you want. There's no question why Nebraska decided to offer them scholarships, and that's why people should be excited that all three of these guys are going to be in the program.
A little bit more info on Jason Marik. Some people will look at the offer list. It's not that impressive. He, like you said, he was going to North Dakota with the Fighting Hawks, but talking with him and his family, he dealt with a very bad high ankle sprain. He was injured before his senior season, wasn't able to go to a lot of camps and maybe put his best camp performances out there, which kind of led to a little bit of the lack of offers. But hey, Nebraska, like you said, they found something that they like. They identified something that they like, and now that it's on them to bring him in, develop him, do their magic on him. And boy, he's an impressive young man, and I think that he's going to do everything in his power to be a contributor and play some football here at Nebraska. But that was the Blackshirt Breakdown. Jay, it's right now I think it's a 27 member class of the 2023.
Maybe one more, maybe one or two more, right?
Yeah, they're not done. They're probably not done. 20 high schoolers right now, 6 transfers, and 1 junior college commit with Kai Wallen. So we will be around and break it all down for whatever is awaiting us. But for Jay Foreman, I'm Steve Marik, and that was a Blackshirt Breakdown.